Hey homies, what's going on? How you doing? It's your pal Alan the Homie. I am live here in Little Neck, New York, my hometown. This is where I grew up. So is everybody ready to have some fun? I hope you enjoyed my new intro, courtesy of the Prism Studio app. I just got off the Q30 bus and let's go have some fun. I am at Little Neck Parkway and let's go have some fun. So this is the old Deepdale Shopping Center, and it has changed quite a bit. You got Five Guys Burgers, you got a Petco. This used to be the Kosher Butcher and Kosher Supermarket. But it's now a Five Guys. Here's Petco. This is the Little Neck Supermarket. And Panera Bread. This was my favorite Chinese restaurant, Jian. I don't know if the owner is still here, but he was a very good friend, good person. Exit 32 Haircutters. Mark? Mark? Yes, it is.
Oh my God.
How you doing?
I'm good.
I'm doing a live stream for my YouTube channel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. How have you been?
I haven't seen you in 100 years.
I know.
How's everything?
Everything is great. Everything is really good. I'm living in Manhattan now.
Ah.
Yeah.
How's your sister?
She's doing great. She's in Florida.
Oh, she moved to Florida?
Yeah. She's got 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So.
I remember Allison.
Yep.
I remember you did my niece's bat mitzvah.
That's right.
Do you still do the DJ stuff?
Nah, I gave that up.
You gave it up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He was in,
Yeah, I do a live stream for YouTube.
he used to live in Beach Hills.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
remember your mom.
So you are filming now?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Maybe
So-
say something about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I when I was outside, I said I used to get my hair cut here. Yeah.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
You look the same. It's a lot of years.
Except for my head.
We all get older.
Right. So I decided to come back to the old neighborhood and walk around, do some live streaming.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Where in Florida is your sister?
She's on the West Coast in Lithia. It's about an hour away from Tampa.
You still married to the Israeli?
No. Yeah.
Mark, you're alive now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's funny. I didn't realize that.
Anyway, but I just wanted to come.
Anyway, so it don't matter.
That's all right now. I decided to come by and check out the area and see who's still here and who's not.
Seeing you.
You too. All right, be well.
You too.
I'll stop by again.
Take care, Alan.
All right, bye now.
Bye.
Yes, the kosher butcher was called Mazer's. And we are just about to walk by Senta Pizza. Here is Slim's. Slim's is still here. And Little Neck Liquor is still here. And here is Senta Pizza. Oh, Andrew's saying Lithia in light traffic is a little less than an hour from Tampa. Okay. Senta Pizza. This is where where we all used to go. Good old Senta Pizza. Still got the same phone number. Get Andrew an onion bagel. Andrew, I'm sure you're surprised that I came here. So this is the Deepdale Shopping Center. It has definitely changed over the years. I think we all thought that it was pronounced Century. We all used to call it Century Pizza, not Senta, but I believe the correct pronunciation is Senta Pizza. At least that's what they used to say when they answered the phone. And of course, the bank is still here. Used to be called Roosevelt Savings Bank. Now it's Queens County Savings Bank. Used to be called Roosevelt. Okay, so let's go for a walk. What we're going to do is we're going to walk up Horace Harding towards Marathon Parkway. It's a beautiful day out today. 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius. So let's walk up Horace Harding, up to Marathon Parkway, and let's see what's cooking up on Marathon Parkway. Looks like they recently redid this sidewalk. Andrew says he's going to compel Lisa to watch this too. Okay, sounds good. I'm really happy today. I'm glad I came here. The bus driver as he was getting back onto the bus over here at Little Neck Parkway, he was saying he's going to tune in also. So, hello, Mr. Bus Driver on the Q30, if you're watching right now. I hope you enjoy, and I hope you'll subscribe. This was sort of a last-minute thing that I decided to come back to Douglaston and Little Neck and see the old neighborhood. I'm glad I saw Mark. He's a great person. I'm glad there are still good people living in this area. Douglaston was always a nice, quiet area. Beautiful area, nice people. I miss this area. I really do. A lot of good people here, a lot of good friends. And yes, Andrew got my old address correct. I do remember Bill the bus driver, yes. They used to call him Dial-A-Joke. For those of you that aren't familiar with Dial-A-Joke, there used to be one of these 976 JOKE where you would dial that number, and this was before they used to charge you for these calls. It was a free number, and you would dial it once a day and they would have a new joke. A different joke every day by famous comedians. So right now we're on Horace Harding and 251st Place. Getting close to Marathon Parkway. And many years ago they had built this retaining wall that blocks all the noise from the Long Island Expressway. Of course, you still have the traffic on the service road over here, but it's certainly not as bad as the traffic that comes from the expressway. Andrew says to this day he still doesn't know who Horace Harding was. I'm sure if we Google it, could look that up. I'm actually not sure who Horace Harding was either. Anyway, so again, I hope you liked my brand new intro. Again, I did that intro through the use of the Prism Studio app. And I'll add to it as time goes by. Okay, so now we are on Marathon Parkway. I'm going to make a left. Towards the right is our old junior high school, which is just over this little hill over here. Junior High School 67, Louis Pasteur Junior High School. Andrew says my new intro was very cool. I'm glad. Okay, so right now we are going over the Long Island Expressway. And you can see the traffic. Yes, I used to work in Walbaum's. That's right. That's no longer a Walbaum's. It is now a food bazaar. And upstairs, what used to be, used to be Corvettes, which turned into Stearns, which then became Macy's. And here comes the Q30 bus. And Macy's in Douglaston closed. And look at what's here. Carvel is still here after all these years. Unfortunately, Kenjoy Jewelers has closed. Ken retired. So I know that he's enjoying retired life. And we'll just wait for this light to change. Okay. So let's see what's going on over here. The Duane Reade Shopping Center. Wow. All of this has changed. Wow. Got a liquor store, you got an optical. Paris Baguette. This used to be Fra Diavolo. Fra Diavolo was our Italian restaurant. Had really good Italian food at Fra Diavolo. This is now Paris Baguette. There was also a Chinese restaurant called Szechuan Palace, which was also in this shopping area, which also closed many, many years ago. Now this was also at one time, when I was a kid, it used to be a Walbaum's. Yes, Fra Diavolo was unbelievable. This is now called Nature Farm Supermarket, an Asian supermarket. And I guess they're either closed or you have to enter through the back. I believe you have to enter through the back. And over here is a vet. Ennislow Shoes, they're still here. They've been here for quite a while. And of course, you got Duane Reade, right here on the corner. And yes, Dwayne Reed has also been here for years. Extra MSG. We always used to order without MSG. To this day, I cannot eat any kind of food with MSG. I have a very bad reaction to MSG. So here is Dwayne Reed. Okay, let's walk back towards Marathon. So again, I am really happy that I came here today. This was something that has been in the works for quite a long time. I just wanted to come back to my old neighborhood, reminisce, see some friends. I'm glad I saw Mark. Gets a little bit emotional for me because again, this is where I grew up. This was my neighborhood. I mean, you know, this whole area. I grew up here for more than half of my life, over 35 years. Okay, so now we're gonna make a left back on Marathon Parkway again. And see that school? That's good old 221. PS 221. The North Hills School. That's where I went to elementary school. Mr. Optical is still across the street. The library, the Queens Public Library. I remember when they built the Queens Public Library. Not library. Library. I'm going to cross quickly. Right next to 221. Andrew says he can actually name all of his teachers from kindergarten to 6th. Oh God. Kindergarten was Mrs. Sellers. First grade was... Who was first grade? Can't remember. Wow, could you believe I can't remember my first grade teacher? I think it began with a K. Well, oh no, I had Mrs. Kramer in 4th grade. Both Andrew and I had Mrs. Kramer. 5th grade I had Mr. Godless. And 6th grade was Mrs. Ross. Good old Shirley Ross. And here it is, PS 221. My old elementary school. Across the street you got Deepdale Gardens. Trees are actually blooming. It's looking beautiful. I remember all the kindergarten classes were down on the ground level, and the upper grades were upstairs. 6202 was my 6th grade class. And I remember all the early bus kids used to come out from this exit. Here it is. This is where they kept all the snow blowers and the plow. 221. Ah, yes, Andrew was able to name all of his teachers. He did it. He did it. And here was the main entrance. And of course, I remember our old principal, Mr. Lax. I'm not sure if we were in kindergarten together, only because I'm not sure if I was morning or afternoon kindergarten. See, back in the day, there were 2 separate kindergarten sessions. There was morning session and then there was afternoon. I forget which one I was. So, okay, you could see how 60th Avenue has changed with these mini mansions. That's right, here's the schoolyard for 221. And this one looks new. Andrew's saying it's starting to buffer. Hopefully that'll stop. It wasn't called the Mayflower dance, it was called the Maypole. The Maypole dance. And yes, of course, I do remember that. And I remember Miss Espada always led the dance festival. And we are approaching the synagogue where I had my bar mitzvah, and many of us did. Marathon Jewish Center. which is no longer Marathon Jewish Center. Look at that. They even took down the lettering. This is no longer Marathon Jewish Center. Wow. Wow. That's upsetting. Shabbat services now at 211th and Union Turnpike. Wow. See, that's disheartening. It's really disheartening. Marathon is now closed. Oh yes, that's right. Mrs. Roberts was also a music teacher. I actually did forget about her. Okay. So now we are entering the area of Beach Hills. And Andrew is saying that it's good now. Looks like the buffering has stopped, so that's good. And here is Beach Hills. Still a very, very well kept area. Let's take a little walk up 245th Street. This was the very first apartment that I bought when I was living here, 6105. They still have my Hunter Douglas blinds. They still got the blinds. And this is where my neighbor Murray Sherman used to live. Unfortunately, Murray passed away a few years ago. He was also a very, very good person. Very good to my dad. Andrew's saying he was bar mitzvahed at Temple Shalom on Union Turnpike. That's right, I remember Temple Shalom. So after I sold the apartment at 6105, I moved quite a distance away, which is actually right here on the corner. (245-46). So, and they also have the Hunter Douglas blinds right there. And you notice that they've changed all the doors, put on much nicer doors, newer doors. Andrew says he has to go eat, so thank you, Andrew, for tuning in. You can always catch it on the replay. Okay, so that was my old apartment here in Beach Hills. We can continue our journey. Back here is Douglaston Golf Course. Let's see if we can catch any golfers. And yeah, there are some golfers. Still a nice, well-kept golf course. Always has been. Okay, let's walk back to 61st Avenue. Continue on our way down the hill. And walking down this hill is definitely a lot easier than walking up. I remember dreading during the Jewish holidays, especially during the fast, walking up this hill, going back and forth to synagogue on an empty stomach. So as I was saying, Beach Hills is still a very, very well-kept area. The gardening is beautiful. Everybody really takes care of the property. And again, it's a nice, quiet area. Great place to live. Okay, so now we're going to cross back over to the other side of the street. And look at this, they've redone this area of the sidewalk. Planted some new trees over here. It looks beautiful. And this was the top parking lot of the shopping center. Now, remember, well, not remember because those of you that weren't from this area wouldn't know, but this whole building was one store called EJ Corvettes. Korvettes. And they had everything upon everything in that store, from clothing to sporting goods. They had a candy department. They had everything in Corvettes. I mean, everything. I remember when I had some extra cash as a kid, I used to love eating Spanish peanuts. I used to buy a pound of Spanish peanuts from the Corvettes candy department. They were the best. And over here, this was Burger King. They went out. So now you could see, okay, this was at one time Corvettes, which then became Stearns, which then became Macy's, and Toys R Us, which is also out of business. You could still see the lettering. You could still see that. Okay, and there was also a downstairs level. So you could see how big this store actually was. Okay, so now we are back on Douglaston Parkway in Douglaston, Queens. So we walked from Little Neck to Douglaston. Douglaston Parkway and 61st Avenue. And And let me show you just how deserted this parking lot is. I mean, it used to be packed. There were cars upon cars. Now, you see one car. One lonely little car. Just trying to find the exit. Okay, now, they also built an elevator for Food Bazaar. Now, this was a fairway. After Waldbaum's closed, it became a fairway. And Fairway is one of my favorite supermarkets, especially since there's one up on 86th Street in Manhattan that I go to very, very frequently. But Fairway closed, and they became a Food Bazaar. And over here used to be a tire place. And then it became a Grimaldi's Pizza, but it looks like they closed. So again, a lot of businesses are closing in this area. So this was the old Waldbaum's. Which then became Fairway, which is now Food Bazaar. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to walk through the parking lot. Again, very deserted parking lot. Now this is the bottom level of, again, what used to be Corvettes, and then Stearns, and then Macy's. And the condominiums. I had a lot of friends that lived here. And also over here on the bottom level was one of the first multiplex movie theaters that opened up in Queens, especially eastern Queens. Again, Douglaston and Little Neck are the easternmost points in Queens, in northern Queens. Once you go past Little Neck, you cross over to the border of Nassau County, which is then considered Long Island. So here was the old movie theater, and they've also closed. So the whole building is vacant. And now we are entering the area where I grew up, literally grew up. We moved here when I was about 4 years old. And from the age of 4 until the time that my parents passed away, this was my area. And again, I'll admit it does get a little bit emotional because this is where I grew up. Oh, Andrew ate fast. Okay. Don't touch the Seiko. I do remember that. I definitely remember that. Now, they used to call this the Army Barracks. Why? Because all these houses are attached. And you could see straight down the street. All the houses are attached. So they used to call it the Army Barracks. And of course, the old hill, which leads up to the Douglaston golf course. Now, before these apartments were built, we used to climb up the mountain unsuccessfully, but we tried. They actually put a stop sign on the corner of 242nd Street and 65th Avenue. And here we are on my old block, 66th Avenue. And here was my old house. This is the house where I grew up in. The bay window that my parents put in. And my old bedroom right up there. And the attic. My old house, 24053. Definitely brings back a lot of memories. Well, it's good to have good memories. So what I want to do is I want to head back to Little Neck Parkway. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on the Q30 back to Little Neck Parkway. I want to see if Mark is still there so I can let him know what my channel is. It's one thing I forgot to do when I was there. So let me head back over there. And while I'm waiting for the bus, we'll just about wrap up the live stream. I am so glad that I came here today. Yeah. Andrew's saying he used to bug my sister about the Seiko. Yep. Yes. Andrew remembers how my parents remodeled the attic. We had the fireplace, the carpeting. And yeah, you could see the Manhattan skyline from the attic window. Yep. You know, as a kid, these blocks always seemed so long. And I'm getting to the bottom of the street so quickly. I'm going to cut across back to 65th Avenue so I can wait by the bus stop. Some of these beautiful flowers. Look at these beautiful roses. Wow. Andrew saying he spent more time at my house than I did. Yeah, tell me about it. Where was I all that time? Roaming? Is it buffering? And look at the beautiful cherry blossoms. Look at that. It's gorgeous. You don't have to be in Manhattan to see the cherry blossoms. You can see them right here in Douglaston, Queens. Beautiful. Oh, Andrew said roaming because when I said where was I all that time, I was probably roaming. I thought he meant the phone. Yes, yes. I finally got it. Before you even typed it, I finally got it. And here we are back on 65th Avenue and Douglaston Parkway. And across the street is all part of the Alley Pond environmental area. Alley Pond Park. And here is the bus stop. So I'm going to wait for the bus. I'm down to 47% battery strength, so I'm going to save the rest of my battery. And we are just over an hour into the live stream. So I want to thank everybody for joining me in this special live stream from Douglaston, Little Neck, Queens. I really hope that everybody enjoyed it. Well, those of you that are watching now on the replay, because Andrew was the only one that was watching on the live stream. Oh yes, Andrew said he played Little League for Alley Pond, yeah. But I really want to thank everybody for joining me on this live stream. There's the Q30 in the other direction. I'm just waiting for the Q30 to come in this direction. So again, everybody, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. This is your pal Alan the Homie for a very special live stream today. Again, I thank you very much for joining me. This brought back a lot of good memories. And I will see you again very soon. And by the way, this is one time I really want to say how sweet it is, because this was a very, very sweet time for me. Okay, so how sweet it is, how sweet it was, how sweet it will be. Again, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.